that, Steph? I farted, but that's also, it also is summer and the first ball of cricket's not far away. The first test match with the Black Caps playing against the West Indies. Nisbo, this must be making you fizz more than a Barocca.
Well, I tell you what, it'll be different from Cardiff just a week ago, won't it? It'll be a bit warmer, I can tell you that. And Basin Reserve, best cricket ground in the country by a country mile.
Yeah, mate, you've dabbled in a bit of commentary in your time as well in both forms, cricket and rugby. What's the difference, mate? Much change in your diet?
Oh, the diet's considerably different, yeah. I mean, from sucking the odd bit of water during a rugby commentary to the temptations of food on display and available all day in the cricket commentary box, it's very, very tempting, I tell you.
Ian Smith would hoover a few toasted cheeses, wouldn't he? A few Sammies.
I'm not saying anything.
You'd be surprised, actually. Smithy doesn't eat much in the commentary box. It's Mark Richardson and Craig Cumming. They demolish, like, fruit tubes, all the chocolate. Scott Styris, I mean, they double the catering when Scotty Styris is on commentary.
And that's before the game starts.
Exactly.
Well, they don't call him the pig for nothing. Anyway, guys, George Worker, massive fan of him. He was part of the Black Caps squad. He made his debut against Zimbabwe in Harare when he scored 62 off 38 balls in the T20. I think Robert Mugabe was actually in the stands watching. He's not with us this morning. So massive
Robert Mugabe. No.
And so we got our local resident from upstairs, Tom from the elite team, and he looks like a man-child of Merv Hughes and Jacques Kallis, but a hell of a cricket stiffy, Steph.
Yeah, I know. He loves throwing the stats around upstairs. He went big yesterday. Like it was an unbeaten 50. He was just throwing stats at me, so we've dragged him down. Welcome in, Merv. Tom.
Thanks, boys.
Yeah, mate. Obviously, the local resident stiffy. Big test match between the Black Caps and the West Indies. Do we have, after the New Zealand A performance versus the West Indies, are we going to struggle here a bit?
I don't think we're going to struggle. I think it's going to be interesting. I think the toss will play a big part. It's been pretty green, hasn't it, recently, the Basin pitch, the last few tests. So I think that'll play a big part. But
I've got a thing on green pitches.
What's that?
I was at a cricket test a while ago, and I was lucky enough to go out into the middle, and I was standing there with Mark Richardson. And I said, man, that looks green. He said, give them 20 minutes on the roller. And the rollers came out and they squeezed the, whatever it is, the chlorophyll, the greenness.
Oh, the photosynthesis.
Out, yeah, the osmosis, whatever it is, the greenness out of every blade of grass with the heavy roller. And in 20 minutes, it went from a green pitch to a brown one. It was unbelievable.
Thoughts on that? Thoughts on that? Nisbo, the green mamba, there's a famous saying in cricket, you win the toss 9 out of 10 times you bat. And the last toss you think about it and then you carry on batting. Is that true?
Yeah, look, don't be fooled by the fact that it might be a bit green at the Basin Reserve because that is traditionally the case. But if you can survive the first hour or so, then it becomes a very good batting track. So I would expect the team that wins the toss on Friday morning to bat, unless they've got no confidence in their batsmen. So I'll have to wait and see what happens. But, yeah, I reckon there'll be a lot of runs in the track.
Tell you who I'm confident in.
Who?
Tom Latham.
Oh.
How good did he go in India, eh?
Yeah, he does.
And remember, again,
and it was a bit slower as well over there as well, so it suited his game.
And he likes the Basin. He scored 170 last time he played there against Bangladesh earlier this year. I know it was Bangladesh, but in rare form.
Yeah. And Tommy, a person that you know quite well, Henry Nicholls.
Yes.
He scored, a ton earlier this year against the Saffers?
Yeah, at the Basin as well.
Yep. And he's paying $7 to be the top run scorer for the Black Caps, and I think I'm going to be getting in and around him.
Yeah, I quite like that, mate. Anyone down the order at sort of 5, especially the West Indies boys as well, if we can knock a couple off, if you got that sort of top 3 run scorer as well, Jason Holder down the order can actually hold a bat. 21's for top run scorer. He's my smoky.
Look at him go. Look at him go.
It's not a bad stat, actually. I know that the last 10 fixtures between the Caps and the West Indies, we've won 6 of those with 4 draws. So the draw might be in the equation.
Is there any rain in the forecast, Nisbo?
No, there's not actually. And I think really for a draw in cricket these days, you need rain. And the long-term forecast is pretty damn good. So, look, I'm looking at a result. I think that the Black Caps might be a little bit too strong. I mean, we haven't even mentioned Kane Williamson or Ross Taylor, have we? Or Ajit Raval, who's my smoky for the top scorer. He's a bloke who's very, very solid, Raval, and perhaps a little underestimated. And if he gets in, he could bat for a long, long time.
He's a barn door, isn't he? He's just a barn door, just stays.
I guess anyone in the top 6 can produce the fruits. I think we've got a great young side. And like you said, Kane Williamson, he's scored 3 tons over in West Indies. And Roscoe, he's scored 3 over here in New Zealand. I think he's quite a big one at the Basin Reserve in 2013, if I remember correctly. And so it is an exciting matchup. Someone new to the Behind the Sticks, Tom Blundell. Do we know much about him, Nisbo?
Yeah, he's a Wellington boy. He went to Wellington College, and there's a nice story that he used to wander around the Basin Reserve, hoping that one day he'd represent New Zealand. Well, he gets his chance, of course, with BJ Watling having to pull out. So, look, he's got a first-class average of nearly 40, just under 40. And we've already seen him once, I think, in a T20, but this is different, obviously. But he strikes me as a pretty confident sort of character, so I think he'll go well. Actually, I reckon probably one of the key guys in this game might be Neil Wagner, because if it flattens out to be a good batting track, you need a Wagner, a bloke who's just going to keep running in, and he'll get the wickets.
One person that might not be there, Tim Southey, the absolute store. What are the odds of him having his baby during the Test match?
Well, he won't have it. He could become a father. And good luck to him and his partner. I would say if he's pulled the pin, there's a high chance that it will be delivered. Possibly, we actually could do what session is the baby born? Imagine doing like the second session on the 4th day. Tim Southey becomes a father.
Yeah, that would be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
What a delivery. Anyway, a guy that would replace him, Lockie Ferguson, coming off of Michelle Pfeiffer against the West Indies, Tom. You play cricket with him.
Yeah, the guy's gas. I actually took the first over off him and downwind when he came back to play for us last year. So that was nice of him.
Big arse, bucket
ass.
arse.
Yeah, huge arse. He's actually worked on that, to be fair.
And reducing it or growing it?
No, reducing it. Yeah, he's lost a few clicks. He had a couple of injury problems a few years ago, but he used to absolutely spray it. We had one session, we had a sort of a fill-in wicket keeper, and we had 30 buys in the first session because he was just spraying it down the leg side and no one could stop it. But he's improved a lot. And he'll bowl bloody quick. I heard last time at the Basin a few weeks ago against Wellington, he was bowling 155 plus, they reckon, downwind. So watch the speed radar. I reckon he'll get right up there.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
That's got me excited, actually.
He's a nasty man on Tinder. I know that.
So are you as well.
Did you match with him?
Anyway, Nisbo, where's your head at, mate, for this for the series and maybe for the first Test?
Yeah, I'm going to go with New Zealand. I think we've got a pretty useful Test side. I know we haven't got BJ Watling and Tim Southey's had to pull the pin, but, our backup's pretty solid. The West Indies, I think it's fair to say they're in a rebuilding stage. I mean, they're probably better now than they were maybe a couple of years ago. They've got some very promising young blokes coming through, but I'm not sure they're quite there yet. So I think it'll be a result track, and I'm going to go for New Zealand to win the game.
Steffi?
I really hope Blundell goes well behind I actually Googled Tom Blundell because I didn't know much about him.
Yeah.
And Tom Blundell's around the world are famous. There's a very famous tuba player from Denmark.
Yes.
And there's the winner of the Texas Coldwater Carp fishing competition as well. So he's got a big reputation to live up to.
Trent Bolt, he's had a 10-wicket bag there at the Basin before.
He's got to lead the attack, doesn't he? Without Southey there, he's sort of the senior man. So I'd expect Bolty to bowl pretty well. I wouldn't underestimate the Windies, as Nisbo said. They've got a couple of good young bats with Braithwaite and that fella Hope. But yeah, no, I think we'll be too strong over sort of 4.5 days.
Give me hope,
Yeah.
Joanna.
Well,
They've only won 3 Test matches away from home in their last 21.
One was against England though. Series, wasn't it? So.
Well, it's going to be exciting. So hopefully, like later in the season, hopefully Chris Gale makes the trip over. And
The tabloids want him. Yeah.
they do. And he'll probably hassle one of our presenters here as well, which will make the front page, which is great.
Should we try, if he does come out for like the limited over stuff, we'll try and get him in studio, eh? I reckon he'd come.
100%.
Yeah,
With no shirt on.
Yeah,
I'd love to see his carcass.
We'll just get Hilsey to match with him on Tinder, and then his date can come do the show.
I'm sure Nisbo can pull a few strings on that end. Anyway, fellas, not on that way. But yeah, I'm going to go with Henry Nicholls to score a 50 in the first innings.
Nice.
So, yeah, he's going to do that, the left-handed general. There's quite a few left-handed combinations. We're talking about Wagner, Latham, Trent Bolt, and Nicholls.
Jet Raval.
And Jet Raval, jeez. Must be something in the water. Anyway, lads, that is the first episode of Head, Heart and Bales. We'll see you for the T20s and the one-days, and you go well out there.